Good morning. Yes, it's morning. Good morning, everyone. We are doing an early episode of Furry Friday today because, as you know, we currently have appointments for Thursday and Friday afternoons. And so I wanted to get Furry Friday done for you guys because I promised that we were going to talk about Kibble and that we were going to take your questions about Kibble. And I wanted to make sure that I got it and I wasn't overlapping with any of our appointments, and then you guys got ripped off, or the folks that are coming for their appointments this afternoon would get ripped off. So we had to make sure that we got everybody covered. Which means that we're doing Furry Friday this morning. This might be a little bit longer than our normal Furry Fridays just because we got a couple really good questions. And you guys, by all means, can ask your questions right now. You can put them in the comments and then I will address those questions as well. But I wanted to quickly, I guess, well, as quick as I can. You guys know when I start talking about pet food, I start talking for a long time. But what we're doing today is we're going to talk about the good, the bad, and the how do we make it better about Kibble. You guys know that in store, if you've ever talked to me about your pet's meal options, we don't recommend a lot of Kibble. We don't recommend a lot of Kibble because it is the most processed food that we can feed our pets. Hello, my friend Kim. Kim is joining us live here. She just recently switched Mazzy over to our open farm Kibble and our open farm stews to level up the bowl. Mazzy's loving it. I always love hearing the stories about how much our pets love their food. And this is why. Food, if you think about it, for our pets, food is such a big part of their lives. We want to make sure that they love it. Could you imagine if food was, a third of your life, 33% of everything that you do would be eating? You sleep, you go for walks, otherwise you wait for us to come home. That's your life. And could you imagine eating a food that you didn't love? Could you imagine going, oh, there it is in the bowl again. I have to eat that. Or do you want to be the guy that goes, oh my God, it's almost supper time. So excited. Can't wait to eat my food because you love it, right? There's a very big difference with going, okay, I'll eat that so I don't die. Or I can't wait to eat it because I love it and it tastes so good and it makes me feel healthy and I've got more energy and my body works better. And now I really look forward to meal times. There's a big difference between those two things. Kim is saying she is doing amazing. What a difference it makes in my old lady. Mazzy's a little bit of an older girl, but that's okay. We've got food for all life stages, and open farm Kibble, which we sell, all life stages. You guys, I'm going to be totally upfront with you. This is so not an open farm commercial, though sometimes I think open farm probably should hire me because I talk to everybody about it. It is such a good company. I do not say this because I sell it. I sell it because I believe in the product. When I did all of my research prior to opening the store, open farm stood out above the rest, head and shoulders above the rest. That is why I made that the only Kibble that we really carry. Okay. Now, I wanted to talk about again. I can leave my little screen up here. Otherwise, you guys are just going to have to look at me. But it's Furry Friday. You guys know that. And I also have some other ideas for things I want to talk about in upcoming Furry Fridays. One of them specifically is on chews, because we know that chews are a big thing. But we're going to get to that later. I'm just going to say it here so I don't forget it. Okay. When we talk Kibble, I want to ask you guys, as people people who eat all the different things, people who eat fruits and veggies and meat and breads and grains and cereals and dairy and everything that we're supposed to eat. Do you believe for yourself? Actually, I'm going to back up. I started saying this and then I got sidetracked. The reason that we don't recommend a lot of kibble, the reason we don't recommend kibble as the only thing your pet is eating is because, as I was saying, it is the most processed option that we can give our pets. The most processed, okay? What that means is it's like you and I eating fast food our entire lives. That is the most processed food that we can eat. Or when you walk into a grocery store and some bag of food on the shelf has a 2 or a 3 year shelf life, how processed is that? You know, it's not very natural, right? So that's why kibble is, aside from the processing that it goes through to become kibble, making it the most processed, it truly is the most processed food out there. So we want to ensure that if we're feeding our furry guys a processed option, we want to make sure that it is the best option out there. And we want that to be their base, okay? So we don't want to just feed kibble and nothing more, because while I'll ask you, when was the last time you saw a wolf dragging a bag of kibble off to their den? You have never seen this. They are meat eaters. They are fresh eaters. That is their digestive system. Yes, we have domesticated dogs and cats. We domesticated them. When we domesticated them, I should say, we didn't change their biological makeup. The only thing that changed about our domestic cats and dogs is that they became timid, more timid than, you know, a wolf that's out there that is not timid. That is literally how dogs came to be in our lives. It was the wolves back in the day, way back in the day, that were a lot more timid than other wolves who were a little bit more ferocious. Those wolves started to be curious about people and about maybe the garbage that they threw out or the food that they were eating. That's how we domesticated pets, okay? But when we domesticated them, all we did is there has been a change to their behavior with regards to personality or pet orality. I don't know how do you say that with a pet. That's what we changed about them. We did not change their digestive tract or how they eat or what they thrive on or what the best biologically appropriate diet is for them. They never, ever, ever became cereal eaters, okay? I'm going to tell you how kibble came to be, because when I was completing my certification in pet nutrition and raw nutrition, and I realized as a pet parent, I had made every mistake that I possibly could have with my big dogs when it came to their nutrition. And I never, ever, ever once set out in a day to think, I want to get the worst food out there. That was not my intention. It is never a pet parent's intention. Every pet parent out there is doing their absolutely the best that they can with the knowledge that they have. And the reason that we have the knowledge that we have as pet parents today, you've heard me say this, you guys, the pet industry, though it is very lucrative, is very deceptive. And they've got marketing wizards out there that we believe are telling us the truth. And the deeper we dive, the deeper we dig, the more we realize they're not telling us the truth. They're extremely deceptive about what we're putting in our pets' bowls. So again, as I was certifying, I realized, holy crap, like I made all these mistakes, everything I could have done wrong, I did it wrong, and I was doing it with the best intentions. I thought I was doing the best for my animals. Now, I also thought to myself, as I was going through and learning more and more about pet nutrition, why the heck did I ever think kibble is what they ate? Why was I on the hunt for the best kibble out there? And this is why. For our entire lifetime, for as long as you and I have been alive and then some, since the 40s, pet food manufacturers have convinced us that kibble is what our animals eat. This is why. In the 40s, when the war happened, there was a ration on metal and a ration on meats. The ration on meats was to fuel the soldiers, and the ration on metal was for bullets. So the pet food manufacturers of the day, who all made wet food in a can, all of a sudden they had to figure out a way to replace meat. And how are they going to put this, what type of packaging were they going to use? Because they couldn't use metal. Kibble was born because you can't put wet food in a bag. And back then, we didn't have great big deep freezes. Those deep freezes were reserved, or any type of freezing equipment, if it even exists, was reserved for people food, right? So the pet food manufacturers of the day had to come up with, how do we still get pet food out to pets? And they came up with kibble. That's another thing that I could absolutely go through with you guys if you're ever interested in the actual kibble manufacturing process. It's ugly. It's ugly. But I will share it with you. And anyways, that's how kibble was born. And for 80 plus years, pet food manufacturers have been trying to convince us, and they've done a very good job, by the way. They've been trying to convince us that kibble is what you feed your pet. And that is pet food. It's not pet food. I'm going to tell you why it's not pet food. Where is kibble located in a grocery store? Does anybody know? Can anybody tell me? I know that people know this, and I'll tell you why I know this. Because 90% of pet parents today are still serving kibble from a grocery store. Where is kibble located in a grocery store? It is located in the laundry soap aisle. Why is their food allowed to be stocked in the laundry soap aisle, but ours isn't? You would never see human grade food in a grocery store, in a laundry aisle in the grocery store, because our food is not allowed to be by those types of chemicals. Here's why pet food is allowed to be there, because it's not food. It's feed, okay? It's feed that is made for livestock animals. And I'm sure there's folks out there that have livestock as pets too. But feed doesn't have to adhere to the same standards or policies or protocols or laws, whatever you want to call it. Feed does not have to abide by the same rules as food. That is why you can see your laundry soap and your stain removers and all that kind of stuff beside your kibble in the grocery store. Okay, so big difference. Now, between food and feed. I want to ask you this as well. Is there one perfect food out there? And I mean for us, okay? Because the pet food manufacturers tell you, absolutely, you find a bag of kibble that your dog likes and you feed it to them for life. They are banking on you not only feeding this pet for life, but your next pet for their life, and the next pet for their life. They are trying to rope you into being a lifetime customer of their product. We tell you guys all the time, you do not feed one food for the entire life. Couldn't be farther from the truth. There's two main reasons why. One, if your animal eats all the same things all the time, the same thing all the time, they will develop intolerances and sensitivities. It's the way our bodies work. I'm going to put it to you this way. You and I eat nothing but chicken and broccoli for the next 6 months. Jason Burgess, he's saying, is there one perfect food? And he says it's pizza. I can't disagree. However, we can always get different toppings on the pizza. Okay, anyways, back to what I was talking about. If you and I ate nothing but chicken and broccoli for the next 6 months, and then we sit down to eat steak, it's going to hurt because our body has become used to eating nothing but chicken and broccoli. And now when we try to throw a different type of food at us, it's going to hurt. So if there was one perfect food out there for us that if I ate this food every day, 3 times a day for the rest of my life, I would get all the nourishment my body needs. Do you believe that exists? If you think about something like Ensure, those, they say, oh, this is all the vitamins and nutrients that you would ever need. Do you want to drink Ensure or eat it, or I don't know what, I guess you drink it, it's a liquid, for the rest of your life, 3 times a day, every day for the rest of your life? Remember I was talking about how you're oh, I guess to survive, I'll have that, but I don't look forward to it because gross. You got to eat it over and over and over again. So the main reason we don't want to feed one food all the time, every day, for the rest of their lives is their bodies will develop intolerances and sensitivities because they overdose. How many dogs out there do you know about, have you owned, are in your house today that have chicken sensitivities? Lots. You know why? Because chicken is a very inexpensive protein. And chicken is oftentimes added to pet food and treats without us even knowing about it. The manufacturers, unscrupulous manufacturers, I will back up and say, are adding chicken to things to up the protein content at a very low cost. They don't want to tell us about it because they've just advertised this particular option as beef or lamb or pork, but they got to up the protein because when you flip over the bag and you go 11% protein, my dog's a meat eater. What? So they up the protein, but they don't necessarily tell you that. Many, many, many dogs. That's what I hear lots of times in the store. When animals have sensitivities, it's oftentimes to chicken. That's why, okay? Because they're eating it all the time and the pet parent doesn't even know they're eating it. On the other side of that, I believe that a lot of that has to do with how the protein is processed, how the chicken is processed. Because if Fluffy has a sensitivity to chicken dog food, can't eat chicken dog food, can't eat chicken treats, it could have to do with how that food is processed. Because if we gave Fluffy a piece of plain, natural, organic chicken breast that we would eat, Fluffy probably wouldn't have an issue. A lot of it has to do with how the food is processed. But a lot of it has to do with the overdosing of all the chicken. It can happen with any protein then. Why all of a sudden do you think that we have alligator kibble, kangaroo kibble, llama kibble? Why are we all of a sudden getting all these different proteins? Because chicken and beef are 2 of the most common allergies. They're sensitivities to the protein, really, that dogs have. And it's because they've been fed so much of it for so long. Look it, I'm already ranting and okay, you guys. Reason number 2, that we want to rotate our proteins, not serve the same food all the time, is because each protein out there provides different minerals, nutrients, and amino acids that keep our animals healthy that the others don't. This is what Mother Nature intended. Mother Nature never intended for our pets to eat a chicken, or whatever. Replace that protein with whatever you want. She never intended them to eat one thing for their entire lives. She intended for them to eat a variety of proteins. It's what they would hunt and kill that day. They're not always going to get a prairie chicken. They might get deer. They might find a wild boar. They might find, who knows what they find, right? They might find a fish. They were meant to eat a variety of proteins, and each of the proteins out there, whether it's fish or beef or land animal, sea animal, air animal, I don't care what it is, each of them offer different vitamins, minerals, and amino acids. The amino acids are the very important part, and each protein offers different ones. If we're not providing that variety of nutrition with the different vitamins, minerals, and amino acids, we run the risk of having an unbalanced diet. So 2 very important reasons why you always want to switch up your kibble. And I mean by proteins, right? Like you feed the beef this bag, then you feed the pork, then you feed the lamb, then you feed the fish. Every bag get a different protein. Give them variety, and we want variety every bag, but we want variety every meal too, okay? One more thing I wanted to chat about. Processed food is the best with a bunch of question marks. Think about yourself again. You are going into the doctor for your annual checkup. When was the last time or the first time or any time you ever had a chat with your doctor about your own health and he said, you should be eating processed food every day? Every day, 3 days, 3 meals a day, you need to eat processed food. He didn't say that. No doctor ever said that. Doctors, any health nutritionalist, any type of health expert for people has always told us less processed food, more whole, fresh food. Though our digestive tracts are different from our pets, our nutrition, there's a lot of overlap and similarities. Less processed food, more whole, fresh food. That is what keeps us healthy. With our animals, their gut microbiome, gut for short, that's where their health comes from. We have to make and keep the gut healthy to keep the body healthy. The healthier we keep the gut, the healthier the animal is, the less doctor bills, vet bills that we have. Okay, I see another comment. I am working, so I will watch it this evening. That's okay, Tammy. It will be there for you. So again, now think about us, because I'm saying kibble is the most processed food that we can feed. So we want to find the best kibble. Think about this from our perspective again with regards to processed food. I can go get a greasy burger and fries or greasy burger and onion rings, or I can go to a sub shop where they're serving a better option of fresh food. Think about it with your kids. If you get your kids a yappy meal, I don't want anybody coming after me, a yappy meal, you could add fries or you could add fruits and veggies. So there is a processed component, but you're trying to improve the nutrition. We do this every day with our own nutrition. We order pizza, fast food pizza, but we make a salad at home. Or we have it with some veggies and dip. Of course, you have to have dip. You have to have dip. Anyways, we do this all the time with our own nutrition. We know that we haven't made a great choice in one aspect, so we try to compensate and make it a better choice by adding fresh, whole foods. That's the same concept if we're going to feed a kibble. One, let's pick the sub shop instead of the burger shop, okay? Because at least we know what's going into our sub. So that's kind of like we want to make sure that we're picking a very good, reputable food manufacturer. We've done the research. I'm going to show you guys something that will allow you to do the research of the food you feed today too. I just put this together. I'll show you that at the end. So this is kind of what we're talking about right now. How do we improve a kibble diet? So there's a couple things. One, we want to pick the best kibble that we can find. I'm going to show you how to assess your kibble. It has either a grade A, B, C, D, or F. And we only want to feed A. We really only want to feed A because we know that the manufacturers have done all the right things. They are providing a high quality kibble for our pets as their base. This is how we're going to improve kibble. We are going to level up the bowl. Hashtag level up the bowl, okay? And we can do that the same way that you would do it with your children or yourself. I've ordered pizza, I make a salad. I had fast food for lunch, I'm gonna have nothing but healthy food for supper. I chose the salad with my burger instead of fries. Level up the bowl, okay? How do we improve it? We can add supplements. We can add fresh whole foods. We can add less processed foods to a kibble base, but we've got to start with a good base. If we start with a subpar kibble, you might as well go to the candy store for your non-furry children, your human children, and give them a bowl of candy and then throw some lettuce on top or some carrots or you name it. Start with candy. We don't want to start with candy. We want to start with that minimum a sub, okay, where we know the ingredients, where we know it's the best fast food choice we can make, a pita, whatever you want, to make that connection. We don't want to start with that greasy, completely processed burger that's probably not even meat. That's what a bad kibble is, not even meat, or very low grade meats, okay? I scratched down the questions that we got so that I knew that I had them, so that I wasn't screwing them up. You guys, if you have questions, by all means, throw them in the comments. I will answer them as I see them. For now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to answer the questions that we received. So, Michelle had asked, is kibble a good food for dogs? My dog refuses to eat it. How could I get her to try it? So, based on everything that we've talked about, kibble is the most processed option. So it's not the best option. However, I want to back up. Kibble provides us as pet parents convenience. It's a scoop and go option. It is oftentimes also our most affordable option. And I totally get it. If you've got a multi-pet household, especially if we've got big furry babies, we want to do what's best for them. Kibble is oftentimes our most affordable option. And we want to make sure that every pet parent out there is providing the best nutrition option they can that is within their budget and that they're comfortable serving. So, is kibble a good food for dogs? Kibble can be a great base for dogs. That's how I would answer that question. I would not want to see our pets just eating kibble and nothing but kibble and kibble and kibble is all they get. You're going to see, especially if you've got a picky eater, they're going to start turning their nose up at it. Again, think about us eating the same thing every day, all day for the rest of our lives. Do you look forward to that? You do not. What we want to get to is ultimately we want to create a buffet in their bowl, okay? You think about you and I. We go to a buffet. We don't just eat one of the things on the buffet. We eat all of the things on the buffet because we can, because we're used to eating different things all the time, every day, okay? That is our ultimate goal with our dogs. We want, and our pets, our cats, I should say, we want to get them to a point where they get a buffet in their bowl, where they get variety, where it's different every day. Will it take us a little bit longer to prepare that meal than it would to scoop and go? Yep. But I think they're worth it. And I know you guys do too. You love them like their family. So we need to feed them like their family. Is it okay every time, every once in a while to like scoop and go and that's their meal for the day? Yeah. I eat popcorn for supper some nights, for God's sakes, right? Like we want to make sure that in a week's time, we balance their diet. maybe every day it's not as balanced as it should be, but in a week's time, we know that we've balanced their diet. Variety of proteins, variety of fresh foods, adding those bone broths, adding goat's milk, adding a less processed food to the dish, adding fresh vegetables, sharing our banana with them, or maybe a little bit of apple, cheese or Greek yogurt. Tons of ways we can do this. Tons of ways we can improve their nutrition. My dog refuses to eat it. How could I get her to try it? I say leveling up the bowl. That is the best way if we want to start with that base. Now, we have preferences too. Dogs maybe aren't as picky as kitties, but sometimes we need to entice them because they're like, come on, that doesn't smell good to me. They can smell way more than we can at a much higher rate. I think an episode I watched, it was like 64 million times or something, stronger sense of smell than us. So like when Jason orders his pizza, well, Tango probably has a pretty good sniffer too. But our dogs, when pizza comes to the door, we smell pizza. Our dog smells crust, sauce, cheese, pepperoni, mushrooms, olives, green peppers, pineapple, the wet cardboard box, the cheap cologne that the pizza guy's wearing. Like, they smell all the things. And way more than we do. So if they don't like a particular food, it does not smell the same way to us as it does to them. Okay. Another question we got, when switching flavors, this is Katrina sent this in. When switching flavors of kibble, can you just change it overnight? That's the goal, Katrina. That's the way we want to get them. We want to be able to do the buffet in the bowl. Initially, if our pets have been eating the same thing for any length of time, okay, well, first of all, they're meat eaters, right? We know this. They've got a short digestive tract. They've got a highly acidic stomach. Their bodies were meant to eat meat, raw meat. And the reason that their stomach is so acidic, so much more acidic than ours, is because if they were left to their own devices, they could be out there munching on whatever they find. It could be roadkill. It could be diseased. It could have bacteria. Their bodies are built to protect them from that and quickly digest the food to not get them sick from bacteria. We're not built like that. If we went and ate some moldy chunk of cheese, we probably wouldn't do too well. They're built very differently. But because they're meant to eat meat, and then we switch them to a dry diet, their stomach is used to producing a certain amount of acid to process a meat diet. When we switch them to a dry diet, their stomach adjusts and produces less stomach acid because it doesn't need that much acid to process a dry dinner or a dry meal or a dry diet, whatever you want to call it. So when we start incorporating new options into the bowl, more fresh, more whole foods, we do want to give them some time to adjust because that stomach, we don't want to upset the tummy where it's going, what is happening? I don't know what this stuff is. We got to give tummy some time to readjust and start producing the right amount of acid to process the food that we're now feeding. If we are feeding a type of food, whether it is a dry food or a dehydrated or a freeze-dried or a raw or a gently cooked, and we want to switch up the proteins, you don't have to wait. Give them beef tonight, give them turkey tomorrow, give them quail the next day, doesn't matter. Fish the day after that. Zaner eats a different protein every night. I usually have 2 bags on the go at home, 2 bags on the go here, and they're all 4 bags are different. He gets a freeze-dried raw diet mixed with his bone broth, which he loves, and he eats a different protein every night. No need to gradually do that. When we are changing from a food type, if we went from dry to raw, for example, or dry to dehydrated, or dry to freeze-dried, I would like to see a gradual transition to make sure that we give the tummy time to adjust and produce the right amount of acids to process that meal. Katrina also asked, how do I know my dog is getting everything he needs? The info on the bag is great to me. What should I watch for? Perfect, Katrina. I'm glad you asked that question because I recently just put together an option that I'm going to share with you guys that will allow you to grade your own pet food, okay? The bags are tricky. They're not meant to be easy. Human nutritionalists pick up dog food bags and go, what the heck does this mean? Because they don't write it in human language, okay? I wasn't going to go here, but I'm going to go here quickly, if that's possible for me. AFCO. AFCO is the American Feed Council, okay? Pet food adheres to AFCO standards. Remember what I said? AFCO regulates feed, but pet food falls under that because it's not food, it's feed. AFCO defines the words that are allowed on the bags. So what we believe natural means, okay, we believe that if it's natural, it came from nature. Man did not make it. Man did not alter it. Man did not change anything about it. It is natural. AFCO defines natural as very different. AFCO basically goes on for a paragraph about what natural means, and it could be the farthest thing from natural, and man can do all of these different things if on purpose or by accident, and it happens to be that's natural. AFCO defines the words on the bags. That's why it's very confusing for pet parents. That's why it's difficult for us to understand because we don't speak AFCOanese or whatever language that is. So what I tried to do with this little Kibble assessment, you can sit down and you can take a look at your own bag that you're feeding today, and you can get an assessment of your food, okay? There's a couple key things we want to look for. If you ever want a detailed assessment, we are happy to do that for you. I will break down the food that you are serving line by line for you. I will spit back a report for you that I've put together. It's 8 pages. Did you guys expect anything less? I cannot not say the things. But it's good. It tells you what you need to know, and it tells you why we want to look for certain things. Okay, I see that we've got 2 comments. Tango is extremely picky, smell and walk away. Yes, most kitties are. When we're talking about changing food, for kitties, it can be a longer process. The pups aren't necessarily so particular. Now, the reason this is in their nature. This is the way it is. Dogs are they are more of a scavengerous carnivore than cats. Cats are a little bit more particular. A dog, a wolf, if they were out cruising around and walked by a frozen carcass, free lunch. They're all over it. A tiger, on the other hand, walks by a frozen carcass and says, warm that up. Too cold, not eating it. They are very temperature and texture oriented eaters. It has to be the right temperature. It has to be the right texture. It's a rarity that we get pet parents in here with kitties who are like, he's not picky at all. He'll eat anything. Doesn't happen that often. More often than not, the kitties are very particular about what they eat. Okay? So yes, Tango is picky, but most kitties are, and yeah, he will smell it and walk away. Okay. We received an email. This member of our little community here wanted to remain anonymous, which I told you guys, totally allowed. You could completely be anonymous. If you just wanted to ask your question, get the answer, but not necessarily say who you are. So this particular person has a lab that eats a lot, and they said they just cannot afford to feed her an all raw diet. I totally get that. And I don't ever want anybody to feel as though they're not doing the best because they can't afford what we say is the best biological appropriate option, not our mission. We want to help you make the best meal for your pet that you can that is within your budget. Okay? Nobody needs to break the bank to keep their pets healthy. We will help you get there however it works. And I'm going to say this right now. I haven't even finished reading the question. If we're wanting to do a raw diet, but we can't afford a raw diet, or it doesn't fit in with our lifestyle because, geez, I travel all the time. What am I supposed to do? Like carry around a freezer in the back of my truck so I can take my raw meat everywhere? What we can do is if we even add items that are less processed, closer to that biologically appropriate diet, as close as we can get, if we even add that once, twice, 3 times a week, we are increasing the nutrition that our animals are getting and improving their health, even if we can only do it once, twice, 3 times a week. So if it's not something that you can do every day based on time or cost, you don't have to. You can still improve the diet by adding it a couple times a week. Okay, so we purchased the mega patties and she gets to top up her bowl. Yay, she also enjoys goat's milk and bone broth. Fantastic. Those are fantastic options to any dry diet. That's what I'm going to tell you to do. If you're starting with that really good base, we just want to level it up by including more nutritious options into the bowl. I'm not going to name the brand that the animal is on. We don't sell it, but and I don't want to talk about it. Not that I don't want to talk about it. This is live out there for everybody to see. So I'm not saying anything about any other brands that we don't sell. Anyways, they do provide a kibble. Thought that it was told it was a good food. They attached some pictures for me so that I could take a look. I then did a detailed assessment, and I'm hoping that was helpful. And so they wanted to understand, is this a good product? How much of the information on that bag is tricking them into thinking it's a good product? And is it good for a large breed who is also active? The other concern is that she has very loose stool. So we stay away from anything that is chicken. We've tried a couple different kibbles and have added goat's milk into her diet to try to help. Our vet told us that all dogs are different and that she is full of energy and has a thick, shiny coat, so not to worry. I'm just concerned that she may not be digesting all of the nutrients that she could be, and clean up for the back end is not easy. And when we had initially introduced the raw patties, things seemed to get a little bit better, but now we're back to loose stools again. Does she just have a fast digestive tract? Could this be caused by her food? They say labs eat anything, but mine seems to possibly have a sensitive tummy. True, and that can happen. All of us are different. If this was me, if I was making a recommendation on this, my first recommendation would be to fast the puppy for 24 hours. It's not mean. They will not die. But we want to clean out the system. We want to clean out the system, start with a clean slate. Goat's milk or kefir, as you guys have heard me talk about, fantastic option to help with digestive issues. If we're doing dry and mixing in a raw, even better. We're totally leveling up that bowl, making that better for the pup. But what the other thing that I would suggest, so here's why I would suggest the fast. Clean out the system, start with a clean slate. But the other reason is I would want to see if we're having loose stools all the time. And even though puppy is active, we may be feeding a little bit too much. Because if we're getting all this good stuff in the body, but we're not burning off those excess calories, it's got to go somewhere. Okay? So I think about with my big dogs, they were outdoor dogs. I mean, they lived inside with me, but when I was out, when I was at work or when I was out, they had a heated insulated doghouse that they never used, by the way, but they did. But they were outside, so they definitely climatized to the winter. I had to sleep with my window open all year round, even in minus 40 degrees. Otherwise, they would sit beside the bed panting because they were so hot. German Shepherd, Shepherd Husky cross. And my Rottweilers, they stayed outside as well, but they didn't do the panting thing at night. But anyways, so in the winter, because it takes, our pets require more energy to keep themselves warm when it's cold out, I would increase their food by 25% so that they had the additional energy to keep themselves warm. And minus 40, and there they are, snuggled up in a snowbank, hanging out like it's no big deal, even though they had the heated, insulated doghouse that they never used. Then in the summer, of course, because they didn't need to use all that extra energy trying to keep themselves warm, I would reduce their food. Now, Zaner, he will go outside in the winter, but he's not staying outside all day. He has to go outside long enough that he does his business and he comes back in. It's tough to walk him in the winter outside because snow, and oftentimes the sidewalks are deeper than he is, or deeper than he is tall. So then we look for treadmills. I've got a treadmill in the garage. He can walk on the treadmill, so that's how he can get his exercise. But he probably doesn't exercise as much in the winter because of his size. So with his food in the winter, I decrease it a smidge because he's not needing the energy that he uses in the summer when he's out walking. And again, if I feed him too much so that he's got all this energy in his body and nowhere to use it, it's going to come out in a bad way. So I would recommend we fast puppy for 24 hours just to clean out the system. Keep with the goat's milk. I know that you said you're staying away from chicken. Right? Did I mix up the question? Do I have two questions here? Oh, no, I can't see it. Anyways, so we're going to stick with the goat's milk, the bone broth. Those are great additions. We could also incorporate either some pumpkin puree, or we have what's called an edible elixir, and it's winter squash. And it's like a pumpkin on steroids. So it's a nice digestive aid as well. And we could incorporate some pumpkin into the bowl. And that is another way to get some fresh whole foods into the bowl. And then, like I said, I would start to play with the amounts. And the reason that I say that, what is listed on the side of the bag for your animal weighs this much, and are they more active or less active? Feed them this much. Just a guideline. You know your pets best. That bag does not know how active Fluffy is or how much they like to surf the couch. You do. So you can use that, the information on the side of the bag, the back of the bag, as a guideline, but it is just a guideline. You're going to play with that amount. Did Fluffy put on a little bit of weight? Well, then we want to cut back on the food. Did Fluffy lose a little bit of weight? Then we want to increase the food. And possibly we may be feeding a little bit too much. There's too much energy in the body, and even though we're active, we're not as active as the amount of energy that we have, and that's potentially causing loose stools. The other option we could try is a natural source of probiotics and prebiotics. We have, it's called Gut Soothe or Gut Health, and we can do either way. Canadian company, Adored Beast, they're fantastic products, and we can do that to try to help stiffen the stools, get rid of the loose poops. Okay, hopefully that was helpful for everybody. You guys, I did not expect to actually talk this long. I should have known I would. I hope that this was helpful for you. I don't see any other questions, but we are always here if you need help, if you have questions, if you want details, if you want assessments. Oh my goodness, I almost forgot. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing this because I want to show you. Give me 1 second. I'm going to show you how you guys, I'm going to back up. I'll just show you how to do it if I can. Okay, I'm going to, not that one, delete. I want to share my screen. Give me 1 second here. Okay. So we are on our website, okay? houseofpawsboutique.com. If we go to our website and we scroll all the way to the bottom, we have some quick links here. And what I've just added is what grade is my kibble. You guys, this works for kibble, okay? If you're feeding a non-kibble food, a different type, dehydrated, freeze-dried, raw, this is for kibble, okay? So this assessment is going to show you, well, first of all, it's going to tell you a little bit about why not all kibble is created equally. And then we want to grade your kibble. This information truly is just if you were to come back to us and say, help me, I want more details, I'm going to ask you for a bit more detail. So this is why I've asked for your pet's personal information. Okay, so step one, you're going to grab that bag and you're going to look at the first ingredient. And depending on what that ingredient is, will determine the points that you get. Put your final score for your ingredient here. Salt assessment. Salt. Tricky little secret that the pet food manufacturers don't want us to know about. And that is that in typical kibble, salt can only be 1% of our entire bag. So why is this important? Because when we find the salt, your ingredients in kibble have to be listed in the order of size, from biggest to smallest. When we find salt, and we know that salt is only 1% of that bag, anything listed after salt is less than 1% of that bag. So if it says blueberries or pumpkins or cranberries or carrots or organic squash, and it's all listed after salt, we'd be lucky if there's a blueberry in that bag, okay? We want to see our fruits and veggies in dog food. We want to see some pet foods include fruits and veggies for cats. That's more just for nutrition versus what they actually eat. Because when we're making kibble, we change the composition of the food. So we want to get some nutrients back in there. But when we're looking at our dog food, we want to see fruits and veggies before salt. We want to see it before salt so that we know there's more than 1%. Oh, sorry. So you're going to find out, are your fruits and veggies before, after? There are none. That's going to determine your point for the salt assessment. Preservatives. How is that food preserved? Naturally or synthetically? There are some gross chemicals out there. BHA, BHT, or ethoxyquin. There are some pet food manufacturers who continue to use these in pet food. These toxic chemicals are used in jet fuel, embalming fluid, lipstick. We don't want to feed that to our pets. If you see these as preservatives on your pet food or treats, get rid of it. We don't want to feed our pets that, okay? So you're going to get a score for that. Next, the coloring assessment. How is your kibble colored? And let me tell you this, it shouldn't be. They don't care what color, I point because Zayner's here today. They don't care what color their food is, but pet food manufacturers know that we do. We want it to look like food. We want it to look like peas and carrots in the meat. So they color it. And how do they do that? They do it with paint. Literal paint. Paint your house with paint. They paint the food. We don't want to see coloring in our food or treats. So if you do, get rid of it. Okay? Step 5, the carb assessment. This is the big one, you guys. Our cats and dogs have no biological requirement for carbs. None. We don't want carbs in their food. We want the carbs as low as possible, or we want to eliminate them entirely. Kibble, by the nature of the beast, has carbs because it requires starch to hold the food together in little pellet shapes. We're never getting away from it. We need starch, which turns to carbs. carbs turns to sugar, sugar feeds disease. But we want to make sure those carbs are as low as possible. So there is a calculation there for you to figure out what the carbs are in your food for your kibble. Why are carbs not listed on a pet feed bag? Because if you knew the carbs, you probably wouldn't buy the food. There are kibbles out there that are up to 70% carbs. If you picked up a bag of food and saw that it was 66% carbs, are you ever buying that? Nope, you're not. They know that. Pet food manufacturers say, wow, we don't list the carbs because they have no biological requirement. You don't need to know. The truth is, if you knew, you wouldn't buy the food. All right. Finally, we're going to figure out what grade does our kibble get. And that is by, I got to get rid of that banner so you can see this. That is by adding up all of your scores from your previous 5 assessments. You will get a point score, no more than 50, and that will give you a grade for your kibble. Remember, you want an A. A C might have been okay for history in high school, but it won't be for your pet food, okay? We only want A's. If you guys have questions, if you need more details, if you want a thorough assessment of your food, we're here. We are always here for you guys. And you may have seen this morning, we've got an announcement coming Sunday or Monday about how we are continuing to reopen so that we are here for you guys all the time. I look forward to chatting with those of you who have appointments this afternoon. I look forward to talking with you guys always. I appreciate you tuning in, and I do apologize that it took this long, but I guess I should have guessed. I'm never not going to talk about kibble passionately. So have a great day, you guys. Have a great weekend. We will definitely see you soon. And if you are tuning in after the fact and still have kibble questions, you know how to get a hold of us. You can leave your comments. You can message us. You can call us. We are here. All right. Have a great day, you guys. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.